Hey everyone, it's Shun here with the upcoming Spring 2017 anime lineup. I hope you'll find this helpful in deciding what you want to watch for this season. To start off, y'all know what was coming. Attack on Titan Season 2 or Shingeki no Kyojin Season 2. Picking up from the first season, Eren Yeager swore to wipe out every last Titan. But in a battle for his life, he wound up becoming the thing he hates the most. With his new powers, he fights for humanity's freedom, facing the monsters that threaten his home. After the female Titan incident, Eren finds no time to rest as a horde of Titans is approaching Wall Rose, and the battle for humanity continues. Animated yet again by Wit Studio, this action-packed series will return on April 1st. Boku no Hero Academia Season 2 or My Hero Academia Season 2 is the sequel to the first Boku no Hero anime series. The first episode will be a recap of the first season, with some scenes of new footage entitled Boku no Hero Academia Hero Note. The concept for this episode is based on a notebook that Izuku keeps that he writes down of other heroes' abilities. The new season will cover the UA Sports Festival arc of the manga. Animated by Bones, this second season airs on April 1st. Future Card Buddyfight Battsu is the 4th season Future Card Buddyfight, that's all you need to know. Animated by Oriental Light and Magic and Zebek, this series starts airing on April 1st. Gin no Guardian or the Silver Guardian, Riku Suigin is a master of gaming, a skill only known to his classmate Riku Lin. One day, Suigin receives a device from Lin for a tomb raiding online game. While Suigin is excited to receive the device, Lin is suddenly kidnapped. He touches the device that was left behind, pulling him inside the game and trapping him there. Animated by Howliner's Animation, this series airs on April 1st. Granblue Fantasy the Animation. This is a world of the skies where many islands drift in the sky. A boy named Gran and a talking winged lizard named Viren lived in Zinkenstill, an island which yields mystery. One day they come across a girl named Lyria. Lyria had escaped from the Earthstate Empire, a military government that is trying to rule over this world. In order to escape from the Empire, Gran and Lyria head out into the vast skies, holding the letter Gran's father left behind, which said, "I will be waiting at Asta Lucia, Island of Stars." Animated by A1 Pictures, this series airs on April 2nd. Duel Masters 2017 release is a new Duel Masters series with a new story. The balance of the creature world is starting to crumble. A talking deck case named Deki comes to the human world to search for a Duel Master to preserve equilibrium. There, he sees Joe's powers to create creatures. Animated by Showpro, this show airs on April 2nd. Tsugumomo is centered around Kazuya Kagami, who never goes anywhere without the precious Sakura Obi his mother gave him. One day, a beautiful kimono-clad girl named Kiriha appeared before him. Kiriha naturally began to live with Kazuya in his room. Then there's Chisato, Kazuya's childhood friend with glasses and a ponytail, who meddles in his affairs. There's also an overprotective older sister who seems to want to take baths with him. Animated by Zero G, this series starts airing on April 2nd. Alice to Zouroku, or Alice and Zouroku, a group of young girls possess a mysterious power known as Alice's Dream, which gives them the ability to turn their thoughts into reality. Detained and experimented on, these youths are locked away in secret until one of them manages to escape. Her name is Sana, a girl with the power to ignore the very laws of physics. When this willful powerhouse crosses paths with a stubborn old man named Zouroku, his carefully ordered life will never be the same again. Animated by JC Staff, this series airs on April 2nd. Beyblade Burst God, what's with the name? The sequel to Beyblade Burst, that's pretty much all you need to know. Animated by Oriental Light and Magic, this series airs on April 3rd. Starmyu Season 2 is the second season of Starmyu. Yuta Hoshitane, who enrolled in the prestigious Ayanagi Academy for Music Entertainment, passed the first year test to become a musical department student in his second year. However, the new school year immediately presents new trials for the returning students. Animated by C Station, this series airs on April 4th. Frame Arms Girl. The story begins when Ao opens a package that arrives at her doorstep. Inside the package is Godai, a Frame Arms Girl, a small robot capable of independent movement. Godai is a newly developed prototype, a Frame Arms Girl equipped with an artificial self, an advanced AI that gives her a personality. Ao is the only one that has activated her. Godai begins to gather both battle data and emotions, starting a day-to-day life of Ao, who knows nothing about Frame Arms Girls. Animated by Studio A-Cat and Zexus, this series starts airing on April 4th. Idle Time PriPara. The story focuses on Yui, a girl who lives in the town of Paparajuku and who dreams of being an idol, even if she realizes that being an idol is next to impossible for her. Her friends often remark on how much she dreams about it, but then, the PriPara Idol theme park opens in her town, and that an idol named Lala is coming to town from Parajuku, which only makes Yui's dream even bigger. Animated by Dongwoo Animation and Tatsunoko Production, this series will start airing on April 4th. Rokudenashi Majutsu Koshi to Kinki Kyoten. Sistina attends a magical academy to hone her skills in the magical arts, hoping to solve the mystery of the enigmatic Sky Castle. After the retirement of her favorite teacher, the replacement, Glenn, turns out to be a tardy, lazy, and seemingly incompetent bastard of an instructor. Animated by Liden Films, this series starts airing on April 4th. Oshitsuki Haine, accepting the post of royal tutor at the court of the king of Grand Zuraihi, Hein Wittgenstein is a little professor with a big job ahead. Each of the kingdom's 4 princes has a rather distinct personality. Does the diminutive new instructor have what it takes to lay down some learning? Animated by Bridge, this series starts airing on April 5th. Boruto, Naruto, Next Generations. Naruto was a young shinobi with a knack for mischief. He achieved his dream to become the greatest ninja in the village, and his face sits atop the Hokage monument. But this is not his story. A new generation of ninja are ready to take the stage, led by Naruto's own son, Boruto. Anime by Studio Pierrot, this series starts airing on April 5th. Buso Shoujo Makurerezumu. The private Aichi Symbiosis Academy was originally a high school for high-class girls. When that was enforced, a 5-member vigilante corps-like organization called the Supreme Five Swords was also formed. Nomura Fudo was sent to this school after being part of a huge brawl. What will he do when the only options he has after enrolling are being expelled from that school, or being corrected the way the rest of the male students there were? The only option he has is by being forced to dress and act like a girl himself? Anime by Silverlink, this series starts airing on April 5th. Sakurada Reset. Nearly half the population of Sakurada, a small town near the Pacific Ocean, has some sort of unique power. These powers range from being able to enter the mind of a cat to resetting the world back to a certain point in time in the past. There is a group that controls and monitors the use of these powers. Asai Kei and Haruki Misoda work for the school's club called the Hoshi Club, which execute any missions received by this group. Misoda has the ability to reset the world 3 days. This means that all events and any memory of the past 3 days that could have happened, never happened. Kei on the other hand has the ability to remember the past. Even after Misoda uses her powers to reset the world back 3 days, Kei will retain those 3 days in his memory. Combining their powers, these two solve various missions issued by the group. Anime by David Production, this series starts airing on April 5th. Sakura Quest. In the wake of a nationwide movement during the bubble economy period, a small town in the countryside has revived its mini-nation tourism program, hiring 5 girls as travel ambassadors. The series will follow a year's time of the 5 girls as they work in the tourism agency of a small, failing town in an effort to reinvigorate it. Anime by PA Works, this series starts airing on April 6th. Tsuki ga Kirei, Kotaro Azumi, and Akane Mizuno became third-year students at junior high school and are classmates for the first time. These two, along with fellow classmates Chinatsu Nishio and Takumi Hira, relate to their peers through mutual understandings and feelings. As their final year at junior high school progresses, the group overcome their challenges to mature and become aware of changes in themselves. Anime by Feel, this series starts airing on April 7th. Next is Hinako Note or Hinako Note. Sakuragi Hinako is a shy little girl whom animals are instinctively drawn to. Because of this, Hinako works as a scarecrow to keep said animals away from the crops in her neighbors' fields. Anime by Passione, this series starts airing on April 7th. Clockwork Planet. One day, a black box suddenly crashed into the house of the high school dropout Mira and Naoto. Inside it was 2B. No, wait. I mean a female automaton. The endless cycle of failure and success. The world that does change and the mankind that doesn't change. At a time when reality and fantasy are screaming, the encounters of these two make the gears of the fate move. Anime by Zevik, this series starts airing on April 7th. Kabuki Boot. Kudoga is a young boy who loves kabuki, a traditional Japanese performing arts. When he enters high school, he finds out that there is no kabuki performing club. Kudoga and his best friend Tombo decide to form a kabuki club by themselves. Anime by Studio Dean, this series starts airing on April 7th. Renai Boukun. A kiss note is a powerful notebook that makes anyone who has their name written together will instantly fall in love if they kiss each other regardless of any circumstances. Kinda like the Death Note, except for love, I guess? This magical and very familiar item belongs to an angel named Guri, whose job as Cupid is to create couples. However, she accidentally writes down Eino Seiji, a regular high school student, and unless he kisses someone, Guri will die. She convinces Seiji to go kiss his crush, Kiyama Akane, the school's papa girl who turns out has even stronger feelings for him. So much so that it can be considered obsessive and even psychotic. Eventually, Akane and Seiji come together, but not before Guri decides that she likes Seiji as well. Made by EMT Squared, this year starts airing on April 7th. Berserk Season 2 is the sequel to the 2016 Berserk TV series. The show will feature the returning cast from the first season as well as a new cast. The opening song Sacrifice will be sung by 9mm Parabellum Bullet, who sang the previous arc song. The Berserker armor will probably make its first appearance as well. Met by Miru Pansei and Genba, this year starts airing on April 7th. Twin Angel Break. 2 third-year middle school girls, Sumire and Meguri, fight evil as twin angels under the orders from a hedgehog named Miriku-chan. The girls disagree, but as they work together, little by little, they become friendlier with each other. Made by JC Staff, this year starts airing on April 7th. Seikaisuru Kado. Kojiro Shindo is a highly skilled negotiator working for the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. As his plane at Haneda Airport prepares to take off, a huge mysterious cube appears from the sky. It expands rapidly and absorbs the passenger plane and its 252 passengers. The cube's name is Kado, and made by Toei Animation, this series starts airing on April 7th. Shingeki no Bahamut, Virgin Soul is the sequel to Shingeki no Bahamut Genesis. 10 years after the world escaped destruction due to the revival of Bahamut, humans at the royal capital gather wealth. The demons are enslaved to assist with the capital's revival, and the gods lose their power due to a decrease in religious activities. The world is thrown off balance as humans, gods, and demons hold their own ideas of justice. Animated by Mappa, this series starts airing on April 8th. Kyokan no Rine Season 3. A popular fortune teller ends up at Rine and Sakura's school as their new teacher. Things get chaotic when a strange girl wielding a scythe makes an appearance, and Rine realizes that he might discover a major piece surrounding the mystery of his past. And made by Brainspace, this series starts airing on April 8th. Red Creators. Stories shake our emotions and fascinate us. However, these are only the thoughts of bystanders. But what if the characters in the story have intentions? To them, are we godlike beings for bringing their story into the world? Our world is changed, bringing punishment upon the realm of the gods. In Red Creators, everyone becomes a creator. And made by Troika, this series starts airing on April 8th. Eromanga Sensei is a new sibling romantic comedy based off the light novel series by Tsukasa Fushimi. The story revolves around Masamune Izumi, a light novel author in high school. Masamune's little sister is Sagiri, a shut-in girl who hasn't left her room for an entire year. She even forces her brother to make and bring her meals when she stomps the floor. Masamune wants his sister to leave her room because the two of them are each other's only family. Masamune is a novel illustrator, pen name Eromanga, draws extremely perverted drawings and is very reliable. Masamune had never met his illustrator and figured he was just a disgusting perverted otaku. However, the truth is revealed that his Eromanga Sensei is actually his own younger sister. And made by A1 Pictures, this series will start airing on April 9th. Uchouten Kazoku. This is the second season of the series. In general, Uchouten Kazoku follows the trials and tribulations of the Shimogamo brothers. The story will continue as they struggle to avoid their own demise, while coming ever closer to unraveling the truth behind their father's death. And made by PA Works, this series starts airing on April 9th. ID 0. Machines is a term for robots that can function in extreme environments. In Alliance Academy is a girl named Maya Mikuri, who is operating I Machine. One day, she gets involved with a group of space pirates, and ends up becoming a crew member on a spaceship. And made by Sanzigen, this series starts airing on April 9th. Zero Kara Hajimeru Mahou no Shou. In this universe, witches exist, while humans are unknown of this. The story focuses on a half-man, half-beast mercenary. People mock him for his appearance and because he always dreamt of becoming a human. One fateful day, he meets a witch named Zero that will change his entire life. Apparently, she is in search of her lost magical tome called the Book of Zero that was stolen by thieves. This grimoire contains great knowledge of magic that can bring the world to its knees. He agrees and thus begins the journey of a beast finding and realizing his dreams. And made by White Fox, this series starts airing on April 10th. Fukumenkei Noise. An innocent girl named Inino, who enjoys singing, experiences two hard farewells in the past. First, her first love named Momo, and second, her song composer Yuzu. Upon this farewell, she makes the promise to each of them. The promise was that she would keep singing until she finds her true voice again. As time passed, the three friends start their high school life, and Nino seems to be interested in the world of band clubs. Animated by Brainspace, this series starts airing on April 11th. Next is Shuumatsu Nani Shitemasu ka? Isugashi desu ka? Sukutte Moratte Ii desu ka? 500 years has passed since humans were extinct due to creatures known as beasts. Bloodborne? Because of this, the last surviving humans began inhabiting on floating islands in the skies. A group of girls known as leprechauns can wield powerful ancient weapons that enable them to fend off the beasts. The girls have to face the fear of death every day and knowing that death could happen any moment for them. However, one day, a young man awakens from a long icy slumber. He is the last living human. Animated by C2C and Satellite, this series starts airing on April 11th. Natsume Yujin-sho Roku, the 6th season of the series. Do I really need to say anything else? Animated by Shuka, the series starts airing on April 12th. Kenka Bancho Otome, Girl Beats Boys. For Hinako Nakayama's entire life, she was raised in state-run orphanages without knowledge of her siblings and parents. As she begins her high school life, she meets a mysterious boy named Hikaru, who claims to be her twin brother. According to Hikaru, he tells that they are both the children of the powerful Yakuza family. Hikaru then asks Hinako to switch places with him at an all-boys school filled with the nation's toughest delinquents. Is Hinako capable of saving her brother, finding romance, and become the new head of the school? Animated by Ariel and Project Number 9, the series starts airing on April 12th. Saenai Hiroin no Sodate Kata Flatto is the sequel to the first season of the anime series with the returning cast of the three main heroines and the main male character Aki Tomoya. Luna Haruna will perform the opening theme song Stellar Breeze, and Moso Calibration will perform the ending song Sakura Iodari. Animated by A1 Pictures, the second season starts airing on April 14th. Sin, Nanatsu no Taizai. The Archangel Lucifer disobeys God and is cast away into the depths of hell as a fallen angel. On her way to hell, Lucifer encounters a girl on Earth named Maria, who decides to aid Lucifer to hell. Once they arrive in hell, Lucifer meets Leviathan, and she explains of the 7 demon king rulers of hell, who are given the title of the 7 deadly sins. Animated by Artland and TNK, the series starts airing on April 15th. Danjin ni deo motomeru no wa machikateru doroka Gaiden Sword Oratoria, or Danmachi Sword Oratoria. The story follows Aiz Wallenstein, the strongest female swordsman adventurer, and her allies as they head towards the Great Labyrinths, also known as the Dungeons. This is a spin-off of the main series and will lead up to it. In a sense, it is a prequel as the contrasting stories of a boy and the girl intersect. Animated by JC Staff, the series starts airing on April 15th. Adam, the Beginning. The story is what happens up until the birth of Astro Boy. In the near future, Japan suffers from a disaster. 5 years later, the country began restoration of their land. During that time, 2 young scientists at a university began exploring on robotics. Now their new interpretation of the Superboy hero Astro Boy is about to begin. Anime by Oriental Lion Magic, Production IG, and Signal MD. The series starts airing on April 15th. Yu-Gi-Oh! V-Reigns. Reigns? I have no idea honestly for this one. A new Yu-Gi-Oh! Series that will air once Yu-Gi-Oh! Zexo ends. The new series will feature a new protagonist that goes by the name of Yusaku Fujiki that uses bleeding edge technology to create a virtual space that begins the birth of virtual dueling. Animated by Studio Gallop, the new series starts airing sometime in May. Next, we'll move on to the movies for this season. PriPara movie Mina de Kagayaki Kirari in Star Lavu is another PriPara movie. I don't think there's anything to say about this one. They have one almost every season. Animated by Tatsunoko, this film premieres on March 4th. Overlord Shikoku no Tenshi is the second Overlord recap movie of the TV series. Animated by Madhouse, this film premieres on March 11th. Anime Tamago is a project funded by the Japanese government to support training animators. The project features a series of short films produced by various studios. For Anime Tamago 2017, the films are Trompo, Land No Boken by Comet, Red Ash, Gear World by Studio 4 Degrees Celsius, Gen Banojo by Nippon Animation, and Zunda Horizon by WoW World and Studio Live. These short films premiered on March 11th. Hirune Hime, Shiranai Watashi no Monogatari. This fender and genre-bending film takes us into the not-so-distant machine-driven future. Kokona should be busy studying for her university entrance exams, but she just can't seem to stay awake. Aside from stealing precious study time, her napping is even more distracting, as it brings on strange dreams with warring machines that hint at family secrets that have been dormant for years. What are these visions that lead Kokona at once closer to and farther away from her family? Animated by Signal MD, this film premiered on March 18th. Kuroko no Basket Last Game, a sequel to the television anime series, taking place after Kuroko and Kagami become second-year students. An American street basketball team called Jabberwock comes to Japan and plays a friendly match with a Japanese team. But after the Japanese team suffers a crushing defeat, the Jabberwocks start mocking Japanese basketball. The comments enrage Riko's father, and so he gathers a team made up of the 5 members of the Generation of Miracles, plus Kuroko and Kagami, called Vorpal Swords, to have a revenge match against Jabberwock. Animated by Production IG, this film premiered on March 18th. Precure Dream Stars. A mysterious girl named Sakura appears before Cure Whip. Sakura comes from another world, where one day the evil Karesutengu crow-billed goblin, bent on stealing the world's pretty things, emerges and kidnaps her friend, a fox named Shizuku. Sakura then seeks out the Precure for their help. Animated by Toei Animation, this film premiered on March 18th. Yuki Yuna wa Yusha de Aru, Washio Sumi no Sho Movie 1 Tomodachi and Movie 2 Tamashi. The first 6 episodes of the second season of the TV anime Yuki Yuna wa Yusha de Aru will adapt the light novel Washio Sumi wa Yusha de Aru. Prior to the broadcast, the episodes are being screened theatrically as 3 movies. Animated by Studio Gokumi, the first movie premiered on March 18th and the second will premiere on April 15th. Yore wa Mijikashi Arukeyo Otome. A black-haired girl is walking around the streets of Kyoto, from the Naisei Pontocho to a second-hand book fair in Shimogamo, then off to a college fair. The main character that has a romantic feeling for her secretly follows her around and looks for the opportunities to run into her in a manner that seems like a coincidence. Unfortunately for him, she is not interested in love yet, so she does not notice his feelings. Animated by Science Saru, this film premieres on April 7th. Kuran Shinchan Movie 25 Shudai Uchujin Shiriri. They never stop making these. Animated by Shine Animation, this film premieres on April 15th. Detective Conan, Movie 21, The Crimson Love Letter. They never stop making these either. Animated by TMS Entertainment, this film premieres on April 15th as well. Free Timeless Medley, Kizuna. Part 1 of the 2-part compilation films, focusing on the members of the Iwatobi Swim Club, animated by Kyoto Animation and Animation Do. The first film premieres on April 22nd. Yoake Tsugeru Luno Uta. The story takes place in a harbor town where a gloomy middle school student named Kai meets a mermaid named Lu. Animated by Science Saru, this film premieres on May 19th. Blame. In the distant technological future, civilization has reached its ultimate net-based form. An infection in the past caused automated systems to spiral out of control, resulting in a multi-level city structure that replicates itself infinitely in all directions. Now, humanity has lost access to the city's controls and is hunted down and purged by the defense system known as the Safeguard. Only by obtaining the net terminal genes is the key to restoring order to the world. Animated by Polygon Pictures, this film premieres on May 20th. Fairy Tail Movie 2 Dragon Cry. Dragon's Tomb, where defeated dragons lay themselves to rest. Within the Dragon's Tomb lies a power called Dragon Cry that can destroy the world. If it is released, the fury of the dragons will rule the world. Animated by A1 Pictures, this film premieres on May 6th. This concludes the upcoming anime for this season of Spring 2017. Hope you found this helpful in deciding what you want to watch for this season. As always, feel free to leave a comment on what you think was interesting. I'm always happy to see them. And with that, I'll see y'all next time.
Fairy Tail Dragon Cry. Lucy, 俺は何に見える?